My name is Harshvardhan Chaturvedi and I'm a legal intern at Lexis & Company. So today we are going to talk about a classic textbook case of how not to draft a plaint, which should be taught in law colleges, said by Delhi High Court about Juhi Chawla's suit. The Delhi High Court has made certain strong critical observations against the defective and vexatious civil suit filed by Hindi film actor Juhi Chawla, seeking to stop the rollout of 5G technology, raising apprehension about dangers and radiation. This is a classic textbook case of how not to draft a plaint, which should be taught in law colleges and to young lawyers, so that such bloopers in drafting of pleading damaging to one's own client are avoided, the High Court observed in the judgment. In fact, the observations were made by a bench of Justice Rajiv Sahai and law regarding another case, a bench of Justice J.R. Midha, which considers Chawla's suit, that these observations are fully applicable to her suit as well. The bench cited the following defects in her suit. Order 6, Rule 2, Sub Rule 1 of the Code of CPC provides that the plaint shall contain statements of material facts in a concise form but no evidence by which they are to be approved. However, the plaintiffs have not complied with Order 6, Rule 2 of the CPC, as one, the statement of plaintiffs are not in concise form, and second, the plaintiffs have incorporated the evidence in the plaint. Order 6, Rule 9 of the CPC provides that the content of the document shall not be set out in the plaint unless the precise words of the documents or any part there are material. However, the plaintiffs have not complied with Order 6, Rule 9 of the CPC and have reproduced the documents in the plaintiff 3. The plaint is stuffed with unnecessary, scandalous, frivolous, and vexatious arguments, which are liable to be struck down under Order 6, Rule 16 of the CPC. The plaintiffs have joined 33 defendants in this suit. However, the plaint does not reflect the compliance of Order 1, Rule 3 of the CPC in joining 33 defendants in one suit. The plaintiffs have joined various causes of action without complying with Order 2, Rule 3 of the CPC. The plaintiffs have not verified the plaint, which is mandatory under Order 6, Rule 15 of the CPC. In the affidavit filed along with the plaint, the plaintiffs have deposited that only paras 1 to 8 of the plaint are true to their knowledge, whereas paras 1 to 69 of the plaint are based on information of legal advice, meaning thereby that the plaintiffs have not personal knowledge of any amendments made in the plaint. The suit totally based upon the information and legal advice is not maintainable. Since the plaintiffs have no knowledge of any amendment made in the plaint and the whole plaint is based on the information and legal advice received, it appears that the plaintiffs wants an inquiry to be conducted by the court into the amendments made in the plaint, which is not permissible in law in these proceedings. Section 34 of the Specific Relief Act 1963 deals with dilatory suits. A person entitled to any legal character can institute a suit against another person who denies or is interested to deny his right. In the present case, the plaintiffs never approached the defendant claiming any right, and therefore there was no occasion for the defendants to respond or deny the plaintiff alleged rights. In that view of matter, the maintainability of the declaratory relief sought by the plaintiff doubtful. Section 39 of the Specific Relief Act 1963 deals with mandatory injunctions. The twin requirements of the Section 39 are the existence of the obligation of the defendant towards the plaintiff and the breach thereof by the defendant. Both these requirements are not fulfilled. The maintainability of the mandatory injunctions sought by the plaintiffs are therefore doubtful. The plaintiffs have not valued the suit properly for the purpose of court fees. Thank you.